All across the world, every single day, family members are receiving the most horrific videos of their loved ones. They've been beaten, tied up, humiliated. These are men and women tortured on camera as they beg for their lives, and their captors are demanding money. Over the last few months, I've seen many of these torture videos, each one more harrowing than the one before. We're in Libya, where this abuse is rampant. To find out how such depravity is taking place on such a huge scale, and who is responsible. How much does it cost for one person's freedom? As global immigration reaches record levels, this is a story of what happens when a desperate search for freedom collides with a human trafficking network that preys on the world's most vulnerable. Those fleeing war and persecution in countries like Sudan, Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Somalia come to Libya in the hopes of reaching Europe, the UK, America. We spoke to dozens of families abroad who are receiving videos of their loved ones being tortured daily. Their captors demand money. How does it feel as his sister watching this? We uncovered payslips showing families pay ransoms in small amounts through international banks. Even more money is believed to go through informal networks called the Hawala system. The going rate for freedom is $6,000 to $10,000. Officials say that every month, hundreds of thousands of dollars are sent from families in Europe and North America to those inflicting pain on their loved ones in Libya. We've come to the southern Libyan border, where migrants are kidnapped by armed gangs as soon as they enter. Authorities say they're overwhelmed with the influx of recent arrivals. Several hundred migrants are being held in this detention centre after illegally crossing into the country. You have not left this room for 3 months?
Yeah, we're staying here, yes. No care. Nobody cares. There are something sick there.
People are sick?
Sick.
I mean, I'm not surprised people are getting sick. It's crowded. Pretty shocking conditions. Crammed in among them is a man who has just been arrested on suspicion of collecting money for ransoms. The police interrogate him over his involvement.
أنا دوري تحويلات عادية.
خلاص ما أنت أنا اشتراكت معاه أنت إيش تبي جاية أنت عارفة هذا وكر للهجرة ولا تهريب وتعذيب وكل لكن أنت عارفة أنا مش مشترك في الجريمة أنت تستلم بس في تحويلات.
أنا نستلم نظام اتفاق نستلم ناخذ العموم اتفاقات فيها.
والركاب هذول يحطوا فين في المزرعة ولا في مكان آخر؟ مخزن آخر.
لا بالمزرعة.
المزرعة يعذب فيهم الركاب.
الله أعلم والله العظيم أنا ثلاثة.
It seems like this guy is admitting to his involvement, saying that he's involved in the Hawala system, which is taking money from these migrants and paying his boss, who is the big trafficker. The suspect hands over crucial details about a farm where he says the migrants who paid him are held for ransom. The police gear up and plan to raid the premises. So these guys are heading towards a location that they believe a trafficker is operating, where he's holding migrants that they believe have been tortured and held for ransom.
هذه الغرفة هذه بتاعت حبس السري. كاش واحد دبو دبو. شفت يا ترجمان؟ هذا مكان الجماعة.
So they are searching through this room that they believe is where migrants were being held. It doesn't look like anyone's here anymore. It looks like they've fled or been taken to the next spot. There's a lot of clothes hanging up here.
الباسبور هذا جماعة متين الحبس السري جوا، فهمت؟ يمسكوا باسبوره هنا، يمسكوا أي حاجة هنا، بعد يدفع فلوس يعطوه الباسبور بتاعه. هاي نمشي موقع ثاني.
The alleged perpetrators are no longer here, and the authorities don't seem to have a plan for catching them, leaving unknown numbers of migrants still under the control of their captors. Women and children are often the most vulnerable. In this detention centre, almost everyone tells us they've been trafficked and tortured. Mostly Eritreans and Ethiopians, they've paid their ransoms and are now waiting for help from the UN. Because of the harrowing details of what they've been through, we're keeping some people here anonymous.
Those guys, they touch me and they do something every day. Like 4 boys, they do like that.
4 men came to abuse you at the same time?
One person, they touch you, your hands,
I'm so sorry. It sounds like you've been sexually abused. Have you had any medical treatment for it? None?
She checked to me like for pregnant.
You're not pregnant?
No, I'm not pregnant.
Okay.
But it is hard too much. Even I want to die, but I cannot do it.
You've been hurting yourself?
Yeah.
In this hand?
Yeah.
And this arm? It's so awful to hear someone who's so young, you're just 16 years old, talk about not wanting to live anymore.
Every girl is, they do.
Every girl is the same? Suddenly, everyone in the room breaks down. Everyone?
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually unbearable amounts of pain in this one room. Just every single woman, child in here. It just seems like they've suffered the most horrific experience imaginable. Girls as young as 14, children, pregnant women. These are just a small sample of people trafficked through a living hell. Some don't make it. Earlier this year, 2 mass graves were discovered in this area, containing 74 migrants. Their autopsy report shows signs of torture. Some had been shot. It's rare that authorities get to the torture sites in time. Back in 2022, acting on a tip-off from migrants who'd escaped, they were able to free over 150 people. They were held inside these rooms for months and said they'd been brutally abused. Standing outside, guarding the rooms, was an Eritrean man called Sinat Tesfaye. He was arrested by the police and weaponry was seized. In this footage, you can see the newly released migrants pointing and screaming at Tesfaye. We received special permission to meet with Tesfaye in a high-security prison. He's been convicted of kidnapping and is serving a life sentence. He says he's innocent and that he was one of the migrants being trafficked rather than someone responsible. There was evidence, phone evidence, there was ammunition, there was weapons. It seems like a wild coincidence that you had absolutely no involvement in this.
تدفع فلوسك فلان دفع فلوسي يلا خلاص ما فيها كلام تاني ما هو ما يلقاك لك انت.
How do you explain the fact that so many of the migrants that you were with that day say that they were tortured and abused and treated horrifically, and you're saying that you saw nothing?
لا حقيتش عذيبة.
Why is it, do you think, that Eritreans end up working with these Libyans in these human trafficking networks?
ضروري يبوا فلوس تاني في شنو الدنيا في فلوس غيروا حياتهم يعني.
Do you have any regrets or any remorse over anything you've done?
لما ما درت شيء أنا مش شورى بك يعني احكي لك ما درت الشيء انا بس انا نقولها بس جيت لليبيا بس هي بس.
This business is bigger than one man. The network Tesfaye was accused of operating in stretches across this vast desert and has links to traffickers in Uganda, Ethiopia, and the Emirates. The man in charge of preventing trafficking in this region is Colonel Mohammed Ali Al-Fadil. There are reports, including a UN experts panel from last year, which found evidence of collaboration between the Libyan authorities in this region and the traffickers themselves, essentially turning a blind eye in exchange for a share in the profits. Is that corruption happening under your watch?
شوف دائما في اتهامات في الدول كلها بالكامل. في اتهامات تكون حقيقية وفي اتهامات غير حقيقية. لم تأتي إلينا تعليمات أن نغض البصر سواء بمقابل أو غير مباشر أو غير مقابل. هذا كلام يعني غير صحيح.
Do you think that the people doing this, the people carrying out the trafficking and torturing, are just 5 steps ahead of you guys? Because, I mean, we spent several days with your men. They were not looking for people. They didn't have the technology to do so.
نشوف الموضوع هذا يبي مشاركة الدول. مفروض فيه الاتحاد الأوروبي كله، الدول المعنية بالهجرة غير الشرعية، دول العبور، دول المصدر، الكل يكون شركاء.
He's right. Libya can't tackle this alone. But while a rise in anti-immigration politics is failing to translate into international cooperation, many thousands of people making this treacherous journey will continue to live through this never-ending nightmare.